Hi everyone, welcome to the 18th of July 2023. I even lost track of what the year was going to be to come out of my mouth. So thanks for joining me here. I just popped on with some brief notes because they are interesting, I feel, and useful. So you'll know that if you follow me, you'll know that this thing came through from Gaia yesterday, which was a little bit unusual about our bathing in the sun. Even though the moon was the kind of astrological speak point. And hello, Charlotte, and hello, Stacey. So yesterday, this information came through about being like the Buddha, and I wrote it as a post. And when I did it, it was really, really lovely. So it's the idea of deliberately, consciously facing the sun with your eyes closed, and then allowing the sun to permeate, penetrate, bathe each of the aspects that were listed one little bit at a time, finishing with the soles of your feet. Hello, hello, Diana. That's lovely. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, Pat. Oh, Pat. We have to thank Pat for all that she does. Have I got the right Pat? I think so. Oh, nice. Yes, sun gazing. So this was the idea not of sun gazing, but of gazing with your eyes closed. So similar but different. And the idea of, allowing those codes to come in. So we've got these codes coming in, they're faster, higher, they've never been here before. It's an ongoing story, isn't it? We've been saying that, and it's totally true. So if you haven't done that, try it, because it felt really good. It felt interesting, different, and and so Guy was speaking about allowing these codes to directly connect with these parts of your body. So today, what came through today, there's a couple of different aspects. So I want to speak, Pat from South Africa. Thank you. Welcome. Hi, Megan. So today, today is a 977 day. So we've got all of these 7 days this month. Everything is a 7 day. So this is all about transformation and transmutation and change and magic and alchemy. And then we have got 3777 days during this month. So the first was the 7th day of the 7th month of 2023, which is a 7-year. And then the 16th. And then I thought that there were 4, but I've gone through and checked, and I don't think there are. And then the third one on the 25th, which is another 777 day. And these are full. These are very full. So we've had these codes coming in. They've been coming in through what Gaia is calling the waters of consciousness, and it's showing up, and I've spoken of that before, but like puddles in the sky. And the water's everywhere. So the water's in you, the water's the ocean, the water's in the puddle, the water's in the drains, the water's flushing through the toilets, the water's coming out of the taps, the water's in our tanks, the water's in our bottles. Be in conscious connection with all of those, because they are either holding codes or can. So call the codes in and place them in the water, and consciously do that in connection with all and any of the waters. So I noticed that Rick Dewars mentioned something about that yesterday, and I thought to myself, oh, that's what Gaia and I did last week, is that we did this energy work on all of the waterways. And especially on all of the underground waterways. So we just be very conscious that the water is holding these codes of consciousness. But what Gaia said today, I'll just read this to you and it'll come in there. The higher heart activations continue today. What doesn't serve your purpose will move away. And I imagine that many of you, being so incredibly sensitive, will be noticing that. Maybe some old things coming up to wave themselves in your face so that you can just have a little stock of, oh, well, is this still sitting here for me? Is there some work to be done around this, or is it just on its way out? Some of that movement away, that movement out, may trigger deeper wounds to be revealed. That is one of the other aspects. So it might be that in looking at that, all of a sudden you are shown something else, something that maybe wasn't ready to be revealed, and it comes up to be uh, well, yeah, I want to say healed and I want to say attended to, and yet I don't, because I feel that, we're in a totally different time with the energies now, where we just kind of flow through with this higher level and they can be in dissolution. So these deeper wounds to be revealed, they may be triggered, and therefore there may be some what Gaia called temporary adjustment. So it might come up and you might think, thought I'd already done that, thought I'd already dealt with that. And so just see it as just a little temporary thing. It's not a big deal. Be with and attending to all that is front and center, right in front of you every moment. And that will lead you to the work. Again, I don't really want to use that word, but you will know what I mean when I say that. So cloud formations, guys, I said this morning, holding code will begin to appear in strong and interesting shapes, creating greater curiosity in the skies. And more people need to be looking at the skies, the heavens, both in the day and the night, as clues, experiences, and opportunities for growth and expansion are presenting more frequently. So you may be noticing that or not. Today, when I spent a little bit of time looking at the sky, I saw a cloud that looked like a dragon. Yesterday, I saw a cloud that looked like a whale, and they're just there, and then they move into a new shape, and it's just interesting. So today also these emerald waters appeared. So there was this pond that showed up in relation to the new extension, actually. So you know how I've spoken about the cave opening up and there being this room that looked first of all like an opening, and then like a living room, and then like a womb, and now it's got bigger. And today there was this huge pond of the emerald waters. Now I've seen the emerald waters in the center of Earth before, but this emerald waters pond is new in Gaia's cave, and it came in connection to my divine masculine, and I know that applies to the collective as well. So I'll just speak about what I have written about that, and then I'll tell you what I witnessed happening. So the emerald water pond in the new extension of Gaia's cave today, and this links strongly, of course, to higher heart, divine purpose and mission. That's the chief kind of light that sits here in this space. And so many of you will be or have felt these energies very strongly in the last few days in this area, and I think, if I remember correctly, I felt them today and yesterday and maybe the day before, but a lot of you will be better at remembering the timing of these things than I am. So my divine masculine was in that. So I was shown, I might have written this out of sequence. Never mind. You'll you'll go. He was in it, and Gaia had placed him in there, and he was diving deep into the bottom and moving around in it, much as a baby does when we are teaching it or when it's learning to swim, and we put it in deep water, and it's not like we leave it, but we observe and allow the baby to find its way. And so they move without having an orientation. They learn to breathe differently, to hold their breath. They learn to move their body. But this is the what I observed him doing, experiencing in this deep emerald water. So this is deep emotional diving and transmutation. And so also I saw that he was on a bit of a wobble, and Charlotte and I were having some conversation about this. So it was showing up like an internal battle. That was how I saw it, an internal battle that my divine masculine was having in his emotional body between his masculine and feminine, and it linked into he could feel the energies really strongly in his higher heart and in his body and in the feminine side of his body. And I could see there was another image I was showing of him as though he was wrestling with the amount of feminine energy that he was feeling. And he's very balanced. But it was as though he was concerned that he would lose his masculinity by allowing this much feminine energy into his heart. And I was shown, that was how he was feeling. If he attuned more to his emotional and feminine body, and it was reminding him of some of the things that had happened in his childhood trauma or held in childhood trauma, be it this lifetime or others, and that this is the unpatterning that's coming up for the masculine about them learning, discovering, rediscovering what isn't true about being a man and about being this incredible masculine, and what isn't true, what isn't held, what doesn't relate to the emotional orientation. And so Gaia placed him in this really deep water with no orientation, and he's very able in the water. But he was just rolling around in it, and then he returned as Adonis. So he rose up out of the water as Adonis, and so this Adonis is the Greek god of rebirth, of the changing of the seasons and vegetation, of beauty and of youth. And so this is the divine masculine being enabled to see themselves more clearly as both capable of as both capable and desiring of this deeper love. And this is also symbolic of this time in our world. We are being thrust into the new. It is all very souped up and very accelerated. And remember that we are going through our own 3-day waves. And that may not be the same as others, and it may not be the same as the collective, but we're going through this process of being open to receive and then to being embodying and integrating, and then into the next wave. And there are people talking about all sorts of cycles, and they're not all the same, and it doesn't make one right and one not. But it just let me just check what I've got here before I just close off. Oh, so be in this higher consciousness. Take yourself there and into the higher fifth dimensional or above consciousness, and call in your beloved in that space, because that's going to be the space that we're tipping into or are in already. So be in connection there, pull it into form by holding the feeling of that. And the vision of being in union, that's my kind of guiding statement around that. In the world, so out there in the world, I don't know about you, but these energies are really, they are designed to move people. They are designed to evoke whatever needs to come up. They are designed to stretch, to enable people to see the truth, to see with clarity, to undo, to recognize what has gone on, and what has gone on over a long period of time, and what has gone over the past few years. And so this is coming up for people to see in terms of, these bigger bodies that are making edicts about what we do and don't do, and including governments, and that there's this energy where there's well, you could call it a little bit of fear, about the world falling apart, because it kind of is. There's instability in economics, there's huge increases in interest rates. People are worried about how they will meet those payments will be increased a lot. There's a lot of pressure and a lot of fear in the market, in the volatility of the housing market, and how people will cope, and everyday items gone, skyrocketing really in prices, and all of this brings fear. And then we've got this energy that's creating, it's like, shake it up, baby. Everyone is being shaken up to feel a little bit uncertain. And I really see this as good. It's so that people can be on wobbly ground and let things go, and don't feel that you have to do anything other than hold space for who is around you and be a loving, guiding light. But it feels to me, we've had huge acceleration in terms of the flares that have come, in terms of both numbers and height, and class. And hi Billy, and hi Tina. So this is this building to the solar wave. And like I've been saying, I just feel that it could come any time. And that to me, the idea that we will be hanging around waiting until, sometime next year for it, unless it's in the first few months of next year, I think that's way off the table. This movement, this acceleration, this crystalline restructuring that I've seen in the cave, for example, the amount of galactic assistance that we are having, there's a lot going on, and there's a lot still to come. But personally, I am of the opinion that we can do parts of this incrementally, and that we are, and that so we can have an ascension moment as a collective without it being the entire collective. Anyway, that's I do. God, I feel like I promise that every time, and then I don't get to it. that I promise that I will check in and ask that. And then, I turn over the pages and I write what I'm given, and I write about what I see. Anyway, it'll happen when it happens, won't it? And we can't make it happen, but collectively we do make it happen, because we make it happen by being attuned to our beautiful hearts, by radiating love, and by holding the space for things to be transmuted. But there's a lot going on in the energies, isn't there? And so we can feel the pressurizing of that, and that is really being felt by those of us who are sensitive. And the divine masculines, I they are in this preparation for turning up. I really believe that. And of course, I believe, and you don't have to, but I believe that these connections have a big role to play in terms of the ascension of humanity. And that's always how Gaia has shown me about those connections. Yeah, so be in connection with Gaia, with nature, with your heart, and be well hydrated, be well nourished, spend some time in prayer and in meditation each day, and enjoy, because it's close. Whatever that looks like, it's easier each day. That's how I view it. That we're moving into something that's easier the more that we have transformed our internal stuckness. The more prepared we are, and then things are easy in the body as well. And we're just we are being the witnesses of our own evolution. That's what I want to say about that. So I send you lots and lots of love from Gaia and from me. It's quite interesting for me. It's like starting again in some ways with my visiting of her. So, this cave here, there's this whole new structure and of that, and I guess I go down there every few days. Otherwise, I just connect into the consciousness. And every time I go in, this little room has changed and is shifting, and it's got bigger. So these emerald waters, this is the phase, the part that we're in now is this greater deluge of higher heart. And so more of that, of course, impacts on people beginning to have greater knowledge about who they are and why they are here, and then that connection with where they're meant to be, their geographical location, maybe their job, certainly their partners. And so we're in the beginning of witnessing this. So you'll see lots of people move, you'll see lots of people changing jobs, and we will witness a lot of people leaving the planet. And so that may look like dying, but it doesn't mean that they won't be back. But that's the time that we're in. Alrighty, you take so much care. Enjoy the night sky if you've got one, and check out the clouds over the next few days and see what you see. I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for holding light for the world. It's a very precious and beautiful gift that you are gifting to humanity and to the planet. Hello, Ciela. Ciela, we're just going. All right, everyone. Much love.